Hey guys, it's James. I'm in Prague, the Czech Republic, this week, and I'm just here with my family, like I said before, in Berlin. And today I want to kind of create a special video for you guys that talks about how to kind of get things done. And this year, something that I've really cultivated for myself was this ability to make the things I want to happen in my life happen, to make them actually happen for myself. So today I wanted to present to you some of the things that I've learned in the process and how that's happened for me. So this year I've really gone about getting these things done for myself. One, I trained for a marathon. I trained for 4 months completely by myself, and when I was traveling I had to miss a few practices just because of technicalities, but other than that I didn't miss a single practice, and I was very proud of myself for doing. Sometimes running up to 3 hours in 7 degrees Celsius weather, at night, and just it was a great experience for me. And I ran the marathon, and it was great, and I was on a diet for a while. I was able to hold to the diet every day. I read about 15 books, and I read 10 books in 50 days, and I read some other books as well. I made some blogs like these, and back in last year in February and March I was able to go out a lot, and another thing that I was able to do this year was to meditate for up to 40 minutes at a time, which is really, really great. Really deepened my understanding, and finally what I've been doing lately is I've been working on my upper body strength. I've been doing maximum three sets of push-ups every day. And so this is kind of what I want to talk about, is how to kind of make these things happen for yourself. And so what I want to present to you is that there's a few parts to it, and they include, I think what is most important is first, creating leverage. Second, being socially and self-accountable. Third, organizing your thoughts. Also, embracing imperfection. You find what works, and you start. You just start, and if you can start, then you're able to create momentum. And so these are the things that I kind of want to talk to you guys about today, is how each of these kind of works in terms of making things happen for yourself, and being able to get out and do what you want to do in life. So looking forward to sharing this with you and showing you Prague. And so here we go. Alright guys, well this is up on top of Prague. So I'm actually pretty afraid to kind of shoot this type of video because there's so many people around me and it's so high up there. It's just, there's a lot of emotions going on inside me, and so, well, I guess I feel a little bit better now after I said that. But what I wanted to present to you is that if you're going to do something, you have to get over the fear. And so this is kind of a good way to say it, is that you have to give yourself permission. In general, humans are fearful to try new things unless they're given permission by another person to do it. So if there's another person shooting a video up here, I'd feel more confident. So in a way, I have to give myself permission to, just be myself in a way, to present what I want to do and do what I want to do for the world and give value to the world. So this is something that you really have to consider, is how can you give yourself permission to do what you want to do. And so I guess I'll start into the first part then. The first part is about embracing imperfection, actually, and it kind of has to do with this. It's because when you first start something, you're going to be dealing with some fear, and you're going to be dealing with some uncertainty if it's a good investment of your time. And so what you want to do is, every day, or however often you want to do something, it should be consistent enough. You want to find something that you can hold on to, something that will always be a good indicator of success for you. So it could be something like if you're going running, just start running. Run for 5 minutes. And so if you're afraid to go out at night to go running, then if you go out and just run for 5 minutes, then that should be enough. And then after you get going, then you'll be like, oh, it's okay now. You know, like as I'm talking to you now, I feel better because people aren't freaking out around me, you know, so it's not so bad. But this is something that you can do with anything, is find out what the lowest, the smallest amount of effort you can make just to get started. And do it. And some days, if you really can't do it, then just do something. You know, make it imperfect. You know, don't make it perfect. Don't have a penchant for perfection, because then you'll get stuck. You know, it's a trap. So that's the first part. So on that note, I guess if you're going out and you want to go out to a club, then you have to give yourself permission to go out. You know, and once you get there, you have to give yourself permission to break out of your cocoon in a way. You have to give yourself permission to enter into a social situation and be confident yourself. And so, just as like I'm shooting this video now, I'm starting to get warmed up. I'm starting to feel more comfortable around the people around me because I'm expressing what I want to do here, regardless of what they think. You know, that's me giving myself permission of what I want to do. So if I'm in a club, I might be saying like yelling really loud, or dancing, approaching, doing things that you want to do regardless of what other people think. And that's the process of giving yourself permission to get past your fears, basically. Yeah. Alright guys, so now I'm coming down the stairs here at the tower, and so now I'm getting warmed up. It's like, this is cool. So what happens when you start to embrace your fears, once you give yourself permission to begin overtaking your fears, your body wakes up. It just wakes up, and once you wake up, and your mind will start to create all these chemicals to accommodate the imaginary fear. So often our fears are just imaginary. They're just blocks to keep us just rested, conserving resources. Not doing what we actually want to do. So when we actually break out of that, then our brain's gonna start making a bunch of chemicals, and we're gonna start to get warmed up. We're gonna start feeling good. We're going to get into a flow state, and we're going to create momentum. And this is what momentum is about: is that over a certain period of time, you're creating with the same activity a certain level of chemicals in your brain, and as you create those chemicals, you will be able to feel more confident to go further. To actually go further than you originally would have anticipated. If you start a challenge with just an idea of what you want to do, and you just start, but you don't think about so much in the future, gradually you will reach that point in the future, and it won't be so scary then. So let's continue. Alright guys, welcome to the St. Charles Bridge. It's one of the most famous bridges in Prague, and I want to continue the video by telling you guys about leverage. So if the actual thing that you want to accomplish makes you too afraid, or the action is you notice that even though you really want to do it, that over time you're not really accomplishing what you actually want to do, then what you have to do is you have to create leverage for yourself. And this can be done in a number of ways. A great website that I found is stick.com, and stick.com is great because it gives you the chance to not only commit yourself to a goal, but also to become socially accountable for it, and to also become financially accountable for it. So that means that you can put your money where your mouth is, basically, and you can say, if I do not accomplish this goal, then they're going to take my money and give it to a charity, or an anti-charity, maybe a charity that you don't agree with. So for me, it might be something like the National Rifle Association. I really don't care, but just the idea that if I don't do this, then I'm going to lose some money makes me remember what I actually want to do and what I'm trying to accomplish in a way. So this is a way to create leverage for yourself, so that you can, and it also gives you the chance to give yourself permission in situations where if you're with people and you need to do what you have to do, then you can say to yourself, or you can say to others, that this is what I have to do. So this is because I have this contract. You can tell them, or you can just know it yourself. You can just know your own purpose and have that available for yourself. Alright guys, so this is a little bit out of order. This is after I completed the tour, but I realized that I really need to add something else to the video and tell you more about social accountability. Now, I've kind of presented in this video so far that socially, we're very motivated by social pressures. In one sense, we're afraid of what other people think of us. In general, some people less than others, and in general, it's better if you work to be yourself. But in general, this is just a theme that can happen in people, is that they can be afraid of what others think of them. They can be afraid to express themselves because of what others think of them. And I think that it's kind of a thing of survival. It's a survival instinct where you try to close off from other people, just in terms of energy. And so that energy of opening is more of a energy of self-expression. And when we're being creative and self-expressive, if we're doing that with strangers, it's like I think that we have an instinct of security that comes up where we want to protect ourselves. Well, it's just an instinct, it's not rational in these days, Not many people are going to kill us, and honestly, I've never really been attacked by anyone. I don't think I ever have. But anyway, you can see what I mean, all right? So what I'm saying is that we have to think about being socially accountable, because it's a tremendous force in terms of how we identify ourselves and the identity that we have for ourselves and our follow-through with making our goals happen. So this can be very simple. You tell your friends that it's very simple, but it's very powerful. You tell your friends that you want to complete this goal, and you can have them check in on you, or you can take the initiative to tell them about how it's going for you. You can post something on Facebook. This is kind of more a subtle one, but making these videos makes me socially accountable, because I see people seeing what I'm talking about, and it makes me have to investigate if these ideas in the real life are actually hold their weight. And so I told you about being financially accountable, but being socially accountable is also tremendously important. And so after this, I'll show you guys some exercises about how you can make yourself more self-accountable by creating your own sense of mission. Okay? So we'll move over to the table now, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so I'm here at the table, and I wanted to show you a way to make yourself more self-accountable. And to do this, what you really need to think about is what your purpose and what your mission is. What you really want to do for the world, and what you want to do for yourself, the things that you want to bring to your life. And I think that, for me at least, and I think that for many people, this actually takes some organization of thought. Because what you can do is you can create a purpose, you can create a sense of mission, and then you can judge many of your actions based on that sense of mission. So, let me close this really quick so that maybe you can see me a little bit better, yeah? And I'll show you what I mean. And I learned this from the book Awakening the Giant Within, and I think that probably more than any other book, this was a book that really got me going in a sense of taking action and making things happen for myself. And I think that to complement this video, I would really recommend that book for you, because it's a great book in understanding your mission, what you want to do in life, creating a sense of purpose for yourself, and then beginning to work towards that. And a lot of actually what I'm presenting here today is based on that book. So you can take a look at that by Anthony Robbins. Thank you. And so here's what I'm talking about. So you guys can see here I made this list. And let's see if I can show you. The first thing I guess what you want to really ask yourself is, what do you want to accomplish? And so for me, let's see. This is getting in the way here. I want to be confident with touching women in social settings. I mean, if you really consider all the literature from Pickup and everything that's known about it, it's part of connecting with a woman. It's part of indicating to her that it's more than just a conversation, that you're looking for a little bit more, and seeing if she can reciprocate. So it's very important, but it's something that I'm very afraid of. And it's actually something that I'm beginning to realize that just having conversations with people does not work, And I've had enough references up to this point where I realized that this is something that I must get better at, be more confident with touching women if I want to continue to, I don't know, get closer to connecting with people and also having sex, of course. So let me show you then. So we have this idea. So what we want to do is what Anthony Robbins says is that we have to link pleasure to taking action now and link pain to not taking action now. So the first question is, what pleasure will I experience by making the necessary changes now? So for me, like, what are the necessary changes to making this happen? And so that'd be like going out and actually touching women, you know. So I might write saying like connecting with people, having sex, very pleasurable, getting unique reference experiences, connecting with people, especially women. I'm kind of rushing through this, but when you do it, you really have to take your time and write everything. I'm just doing a few examples here, but write everything that could possibly give you pleasure from this. Also, understanding reality better. I mean, maybe I'll touch a woman and she won't like it, and then so I can learn from that. So, and then that's pleasure. You want more than that in general, but what pain will I continue to experience by not making the necessary changes now? And that's just like flop sets, you know, sets that don't go anywhere. Wasting time in the club, wasting time on girls who aren't interested. Doubt and uncertainty, lack of credibility with my friends. So yeah, you want more, but that's just the general idea, is that you make this kind of list. What pleasure will I experience? What pain will I continue to experience if I don't make these changes? So now, you know, maybe I have a better sense of, you know, what is really going on, you know, like with what I want or what I don't want, you know, and it might be different for you. Maybe you might have a goal just to, you know, approach. So what's going to happen? What kind of pleasure would you have if you started to approach, or maybe even more, you know, something more advanced than that? Anything, you know, or just, you know, trying to get in shape, or no, just anything in general. You want to make a belief system that will conform to where you want to go. You want to make a system of beliefs that, this is kind of like learning a language or something, is that you're kind of introducing these thoughts into your mind and practicing repetition. And so it's like, I want to have sex, you know, I want to connect with people. I don't want to have bad sex, you know. And so it's like, as you're creating this belief system in your mind, then it will allow you to be pulled towards your goals, basically. And since you have a sense of mission, then that'll be good for you as well. So this is the idea of becoming self-accountable. Yeah! Alright guys, I'm kind of rounding out this tour now. I just want to finish with kind of like it's pretty advanced, and I've only been able to kind of access this ability once in my life, but it's just the idea that, you know, so often in my videos I want to tell you guys about meditation. And what meditation and being just in general present to the moment allows you to do is to be aware of what you're doing in your life. And if you can be aware of what you're doing, you can realize what's bullshit, what's worthy of your time, what you want to do. And if those things are in line, then it allows you to Slowly. The first time you just do it unconsciously. You're doing, maybe you're drinking, or you don't want to drink, or maybe you're just laying around and you don't want to lay around. You want to be getting out. You want to be living your life. And then, as you become more present to the moment, you'll see yourself doing it, and you'll realize that this is not what I want to be doing with my time. So, and then slowly you'll make the distinction between, you'll be able to take action and do what you want, basically. And so what this kind of allows you to do, actually, is it's pretty far out there, but it kind of allows you to predict the future in a way. And basically the idea is that without any momentum, without anything happening in your life, what's going to happen is that you're going to continue basically on the same path that you're on. I don't know, maybe if you're like drifting through space, you would continue in one path unless something hit you, unless something changed your path. Well, on the Earth, we're a little more grounded, we can feel the world a little bit more, and we can interact with the world more than if we're in space. So on the ground, on this planet, we have the opportunity to have control of our decisions. And so if you're aware of what you're doing, and then you can predict what your life is going to be in like a month or 2 months. Just maybe the circumstances will be different, but your attitude, how you feel, the way that you interact with the world will generally be the same, unless you make a choice to change. That's what I really want to present to you guys today, is that you have to make the choice to change. You have to give yourself permission to get over your fears. You have to accept that you are already a person of high value, and that once you get past your fears, you give other people a chance to go over their fears. I wrote this down. It says, by giving yourself permission to do what you want, to others you become a person of high value. Because of your fearlessness, you give them permission to do what they want as well. And I think that's so much about what's going on in at least the social world, is that we have to help each other out, and we offer each other different people offer each other different types of value. Some people are fearless in some areas of life, and others not so much in other areas of life. I go to the skate park in Barcelona, and I've noticed that what they'll do is they'll watch each other and then they'll follow. And so it's like the others are giving them the opportunity to overcome their own fears. It's kind of like that guy who ran the 5-minute mile, and then 30 people did it the next year. It's just like that, It's like, just by being the person who gives people permission to do what they want, you become a person of high value. And actually, if you can realize that your emotions are completely irrational, usually, and that your fears are irrational, then you already realize this. You already realize that you're a person of high value, basically. And so I want to continue just by saying that, so if you're able to predict in yourself what is going to happen in the future, you have to keep an eye on what other people are doing too, If you notice that someone is kind of in a habit of doing the same action over and over in a certain type of circumstance, then you can have a better understanding not only of how they're going to affect you in the future. If you're in a relationship with someone and they're kind of doing the same thing over and over whenever a certain stimulus comes up, they're going to continue doing that unless maybe you talk to them and make them aware of it. And you choose to do what you want with that, with that knowledge, that being present to the moment and just understanding that there's no time, there's no time in this world. There's just this space now, and the only time that we experience is the time of our own bodies are aging, So you just have to give yourself permission to do what you want to do and do it now. You have to do it now, because it doesn't matter if it's now or in 5 minutes or in 5 years. It's always going to be the same now. You're always going to have the same opportunity to improve yourself, and that comes from an imperfection, like I said, and developing momentum for yourself. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking to you soon. Self-accountable, yeah!